entire world is talking about Dubai, 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 Dubai. Is it like kind of scary?
Dubai is going to redefine
That's why
what
they say-
luxury real estate
Yeah.
means. And now the growth is still healthy. This year 2025 has once again been a record-breaking year.
Already.
Competition in Dubai's real estate market is fierce. 10,000 brokerage
Wow.
companies. Be close to 70, 80,000
More,
brokers in the
I'm
city.
sure. What is good lead and what is bad leads?
What kind of questions to ask? If you ask somebody, what's your budget? You have like 3 schools in the community which are coming. He's like, dude, I'm not married. I don't have kids. You're telling me about schools.
Marjan Island.
This island itself is going to be the Las Vegas sort of strip. Somebody's buying a Bugatti residences. They understand the brand value of Bugatti.
Dubai real estate future in one word.
Bright.
Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Power of A Talks, the show where we sit down with the minds shaping industries, shifting perspectives, and many big things happen. Today, we've got a special guest joining us. He's a powerhouse in Dubai real estate market. From startup hustle to leading one of Dubai's top brokerages, under his leadership, he's not only grown rapidly, but also redefined what it means to buy, sell, and invest in property in a dynamic market like Dubai. He is the powerhouse magnet when it comes to social media, influencer, YouTuber, and the most humble human being. Whether you're into business, leadership, investor, buyer, or just curious about where the market is heading, you surely don't want to miss today's episode. So let's sit back, relax, and let's find out some Dubai property secrets with my guest today. Let's welcome CEO of Springfield Properties, Faruk Sayed. Hi Farooq, welcome to Power of A Talks. I'm super excited and I just can't wait this session to begin. I hope you're excited as well.
I am very excited. Thank you so much for having me, Gita. I really appreciate it and looking forward to the session.
Thank you, my pleasure. Okay, so before I begin, I just want to ask Farooq about your journey. That how did you start it? What was the strategy at that time, and what you've been going through, like your initial days, basically.
Well, I stumbled upon real estate. Just to give a quick introduction, my name is Faruk Say. I'm the CEO of Springfield Properties. We're one of the leading real estate companies in Dubai today with last year we closed over 3 billion worth of real estate sales.
Wow.
Of course, the market has been very, very kind to us. We've been in business since 2008. So roughly about 17 years ago.
Wow.
So it's been I feel like a lifetime in real estate sales. And
Not really, there's a long way to go.
Yeah. But in terms of what was the strategy at the beginning, well, I just stumbled upon real estate.
Okay.
It's a family business. My father has been in Dubai since early 90s. He's been in business. He started investing in real estate in 2000, 2001, which was basically the start of Dubai's real estate market.
Correct.
He was one of the first sort of investors to come in and
Absolutely.
buy a house in Dubai. And then, his investment journey started in the early 2000s. And, around 2006, 7, that's when, 2006 actually, the summer of 2006 was when I had my first job in real estate.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
2006 summer. This was the
What was it like?
summer between my school and university.
All right.
So, I'd always been working in my dad's businesses. We had a car rental company. We had a couple of restaurants.
Wow.
So I used to go and, spend my weekends at the restaurant. And, after school, we used to always drop by the car rental company, So I'd always been used to sort of working and helping out my parents in their business ventures.
Okay.
So he said, what, real estate is
Why
booming.
don't you-
Why don't you at least go and explore this?
True.
And this could be something potentially we could do in the future. So that's how I basically stumbled upon real estate. I loved it because in 2006, 7, 8, while I was in university, it was a great way for me to make money. My parents didn't give me much of, pocket money at that time. I used to get 500 dirhams.
Oh, wow.
So for me, the first deal I did, I remember I got 8,000 dirhams, and that was like the most amount of money I'd ever seen in my life in one place. So I said, this is amazing. I want to pursue this. And luckily at that time I had, friends and family who were buying real estate. So they always sort of, used me as the agent. So I made some good money. And of course the money motivated me in university. And then in 2008, we formed Springfield Properties. And funny enough, at that time, after graduation, a lot of my friends were going and working for multinational companies. And we were still a very small setup.
Okay.
Just 2-3 people. It was me, my dad, an assistant, a secretary, and a couple of agents. And, we weren't really doing, really any good numbers. It was more hour buying and hour selling, which we could have done anyways. So I actually wanted to go and work for a multinational company. I saw my friends working in all these fancy offices and fancy buildings. And, I said, and even my father, he wanted me to work outside before, getting into the family business. He said, get some professional experience and you can always come back and, manage these businesses, grow them.
Yeah.
And I still remember after graduation, 1 year, I couldn't land a job.
Really?
I went for so many interviews.
No way.
And I always
No
got
way.
rejected.
What you saying?
I'm telling you, Ankita, and funny enough, it was me and my sister who graduated together. So I have a sister who I'm very close to, and we both went to university together.
Okay.
We both graduated together. We both did all the same courses. We have the same specialization.
Wow.
Everything was together. We used to go to university, come back from everything was together.
All right.
And wherever she would go for an interview, she would get a job. And wherever I would go, I would get a job. And my dad's like, dude, this guy is,
what's going on?
And you feel like a failure, At that time, I felt like a failure. I said, okay, wait a second. I'm like, Dad, I'm not really getting a job anywhere, so might as well just continue working. And, I actually had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
I hated working in the restaurant. I hated working in the car rental company. I mean, I didn't hate working in the car rental company, but it wasn't like something I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And restaurants, I actually hated.
Okay.
I did not like managing.
But you've done all that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, all
you've
my
seen,
my
all
whole
that.
teenage years, I was going to the car rental company, going to the restaurant, standing behind the
Amazing.
till. We had, I still remember the days that, weekend, my friends are out and I'm like at the restaurant, so my dad's like, I need you to be at the restaurant. I'm like, sure, and I would spend my day there. So it was good fun. It was good learning experience for me.
True.
I think, meeting people, managing people, getting a feel of, how it is to be on the management side of a business, even though they were small, medium-sized businesses, but it was still a good learning experience for me.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, there was no real strategy going into real estate. It was just, okay,
just
this is what I have to do.
It
This is
just
what we'll do.
happened. Yeah.
And luckily, Dubai as a city kept growing.
True.
And with that, luckily our business kept growing.
Amazing.
And, touch wood, things have been
touch wood.
very good
Absolutely.
since then.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. I mean, like initially people see in the camera that they don't know what's, how the journey begins, how you start, the struggle and all that. But people nowadays, they just see that, okay, what's in the camera, what shows is the, but when when you get to know about the real journey, then you actually get to know that what is there. It's nothing is
I
easy
always
in
say,
life.
people look at this business and they go like, wow,
Yeah, it's quite fancy. and
quite
you're like,
fancy. They're making money, but they don't
and
see the 17 years of
struggle.
work and struggle that we did in order to
Absolutely.
be at this moment.
True.
That we are in right now. Everything looks very rosy. I was sitting with a few people and, some guys who have just recently started a real estate company came to me just for some advice and they just asked. And I said, they're like, no, but, you are young. And I said, yeah, I might be young, but I've been doing this for 17 years, At 17 years, I've been managing my business.
Absolutely.
I started my first
Before
job
that.
even before that.
Yeah,
It's like all my life I've been doing this.
True.
It took a decade for me to understand this business. I always say this. I said, we made so many mistakes. We from wrong investments by
true.
ourselves
Lot of
to
failures.
getting stuck in places, how to manage people, how to build a brand. It's years and years of experience and hard work.
And that's how you learn and grow.
Yeah,
I think.
and the competition in Dubai's real estate market is fierce.
Yeah,
True.
true.
Someone just recently was talking about how many brokerage companies there are. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but it's roughly around 10,000 brokerage companies.
Wow.
Companies, I'm not saying brokers.
Brokers.
Brokers, apparently the registered is, registered and unregistered together, it could be close to 70, 80,000
More.
brokers in the city.
I'm sure.
I mean,
sure.
imagine
I think
if-
every second person whom I meet, it's they say, okay, yeah,
I mean,
real estate, real estate,
there's
real estate.
unfortunately dime a dozen real estate
Yeah.
brokers in Dubai, but it shows that the number of transactions in the city are also very
Happening.
high. All of
How
these
the
guys are making money.
companies, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not that
absolutely.
they're
I
sitting and
agree.
don't have business to
agree.
do. There is a lot of, this is a record amount of transactions. This year 2025 has once again been a record-breaking year.
Already.
Already, H1 has
Yes.
been the highest transaction
Absolutely.
volume and value that Dubai ever saw in its history of
Amazing.
existence.
Wow.
So it just shows that the market is moving forward. There's good amount of transactions happening.
True.
population is increasing, people are
Yeah,
coming,
true.
and people are coming from all over the world.
Yeah. That's how the city is. We have like 200 nationalities in Dubai, and I think none of the other, and in the entire world, none of the country has something like that.
This is the
So it's
perfect melting pot of different people. I mean, of course, we have other major cities around the world like New York and London, which also have a lot of nationalities, but they all have, you know, I feel like when you go to America, when you go to New York, it becomes like a New York culture.
true.
Dubai, the beautiful thing is that every culture has retained its culture as well in
Absolutely,
this city.
so correct.
So you'll have an Indian community which is,
So
you know, has
correct.
it's close to its
Yeah.
roots. You'll have an Iranian community that is very close to its
Absolutely.
roots. You'll have, I don't know, a Syrian community which will be very close to its
True,
roots, you know.
true.
And then of course we have a huge European population over here, you
That
know,
is-
that you know
yeah.
are still connected with their people and their roots and their countries. So I think the beauty of
Yeah.
Dubai is very unique in itself
True.
as
That
a city,
is-
and the culture, the Dubai culture,
is
is now
amazing.
emerging.
Yeah, more and more
more
every
and more,
day,
you know.
which is attracting more people, I think, and the people are just coming and coming and coming, and I think that's good for you guys.
I think there was a news article, I
Yeah.
think yesterday or day before yesterday, that Dubai has finally touched 4 million
Wow.
residents. 4 million.
Wow.
This is a new
Wow, benchmark, which is like
record,
amazing
you know.
record, of course.
I mean, 10 years ago, our population was nearly half. Imagine if you just Google the population
I
clock
know, I
of
know.
Dubai 10 years
Yeah.
back, we were half the population, you know. So in 10 years, the city has grown tremendously. Amount of real estate, roads,
Absolutely.
infrastructure, schools, shops,
Lot of
malls,
things, medicals.
everything
Yeah,
has
yeah.
grown
Immensely.
exponentially.
Yeah.
Tourism market is growing.
True.
And of course, all of that is fueling the real estate market as well.
Absolutely, that I agree. Even the urban plan of Dubai, which is like 2040, it'll be almost 7.8 million.
7.8
So they are planning something big. That is why it's like, you know.
The beautiful thing is about the leadership's vision in this country is very well aligned,
So
you know, with all the different organizations that are working
Right.
together to make the city a success.
Happen,
And I think that is very important, you know, to have a good, strong leadership
True.
in any country in the world, you know. And over here, we are blessed to have His
Yeah.
Highness Sheikh Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum to really navigate us,
All of us.
you know, in this way. And even the next, you know, the next in line, you know, Sheikh Hamdan, you know, he
Again,
he is very well aligned as well with the vision.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, this is, I mean, Dubai has already become a city, a model city for most cities around the world.
Yeah.
You know, the way they have grown, the way they are growing,
Yeah.
you know, not just from their government aspect, but the business aspect that they, you know, all your top developers. I mean, I can talk about my industry in real estate. All the top developers are government backed or government
Yeah,
owned.
true. That is
And they
true.
all maintain their
Maintain it,
different style, and they all maintain their different
way they
you know, market
market,
segment. Like,
yeah.
you know, you'll have Nakhil, which is
Yeah,
very
who's-
different from Miras, which is very different from
Absolutely.
Dubai
Emaar,
Holdings, which is
yeah.
very different from ICD, which is very different from Emaar. You know, they all have
Their own
their own
way,
style and their
yeah.
own development, and
Yeah,
there's
way.
competition amongst them.
yeah, true.
Even though they're all owned by government, there's
True.
competition amongst them,
Yeah.
which is amazing. You
Yeah,
know,
to
how
see.
Sheikh Mohammed runs this city as an organization.
So true.
You know, he
That
puts
is so
he puts
correct.
organizations competing with each other
Yeah.
in order to, because if there's no competition, there's going to be no growth.
Yeah.
You know, it's only when you feel competition, when you feel that pressure,
Yeah.
is when you're going to get the best out of
Out
your
of
own
it.
people.
Absolutely.
And I think Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid really understands this concept.
Yeah.
And he is, you know, the reason why he is probably the best CEO in the world.
Yeah.
you know,
That is, of course.
Not just a
and
best
let
leader,
me-
but he's the best CEO in the world. You know, he's a model CEO.
Yeah,
know,
that is so true. But on that note, do you think Dubai has any competition?
As a city,
Yeah.
of course, we are competing with all the top cities in the world. You know, we are already at par. You know, when
Yeah,
there's any brand,
that's
you know, you have a fashion background. Any
Yeah.
fashion label has to be in LA,
Yeah.
London,
Absolutely.
Paris, New York,
There, and then
now
comes-
Dubai.
Correct.
Dubai has come in
Absolutely.
those elite
Class.
five, six cities
yeah.
around the world where a brand or any, you know, fashionable, you know, whether it's a fashion label, whether it's a
Yeah, high-end
whatever it
designers or
is, a
whatever, yeah.
designers or
Yeah,
whatever, they
yeah.
have to have an existence in the city.
True.
Not just because of the fact that we have a good buzzing market here, but
Yeah.
because the city has developed and branded itself to be
Absolutely.
amongst the top cities in the world. And in this region,
Yeah, especially.
you know, we have become, you know, the most desirable city to be in.
So true.
And
So true.
we have major countries all around us with huge populations and huge money. There was a friend of mine I was sitting with yesterday, and he was joking around with me. He's like, Dubai is the best city of India.
Yeah. Of India.
Of India. And I said, what do you mean? He said, Farooq, it's so close to us.
Yeah.
That
That
3
is so
hours we are
true.
here.
That is so
He's like, within India, it takes you 4 hours to get from one city to another. So we joke.
That is so. Even for example, let's say Delhi to Gurgaon, you sometimes do it takes 2
like,
3
man,
hours.
we sit in a flight from Bombay. There's 15 to 20 flights a day. He's like, every hour of the day, every half an hour of the day, we have a flight.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like
just
flying
like-
domestic.
yeah.
He's like, bro, you go straight, boom.
correct.
You'd
So
fly in the
correct.
morning, afternoon, you're in
Yeah.
Dubai. And you come here, you get all your, you get your language, you get your food,
Everything,
you get your
yes.
culture.
Yeah.
So we
So
think
true.
and it's just cleaner
And
streets,
the safety and the
safer
safest
environment,
in the
cleaner
world,
street,
yeah.
nicer cars, nicer malls.
What
So
else
for
do
me,
you
this is the
need?
best city of India.
Yeah.
And I said, this is and I started thinking along those lines. And I said the same thing for Iranians. It's the same thing for Pakistanis.
Absolutely.
2 hours, from my city in Karachi, there's over 20 flights a day. For
Wow.
anyone and everyone with money in Karachi has a base in Dubai.
Amazing.
Or has
Yeah, of
relatives
course,
or friends
of course,
and something
of
or the
course.
other. And they're
Yeah,
always traveling
true,
back and forth.
true.
Same thing with the Iranians. Same thing with a lot of the Arabic countries
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
close to
true,
us. They get their culture here. They get their language over here.
Yeah.
They get all their facilities over here.
Correct.
So that in itself makes
it
it a
all.
lot more accessible. The other day we were, just a month back, we were traveling around Europe, and I remember going to some countries, just for example, even if you go to Paris,
Yeah.
there's some times where you're just like, this guy's not understanding English.
Hmm.
Or you go to Germany, you go to Berlin, and then you're having a tough time having a conversation with the guy because a lot of people either don't speak English or don't want to speak English.
Yeah,
But
true.
you come to Dubai,
Yeah.
if you're someone who speaks English,
You
obviously
have-
everyone
yeah,
speaks English.
yeah.
If you're Indian or Pakistani, pretty much everyone
Everybody.
speaks Hindi or Urdu.
Yeah.
If you're an Arab, every shop, every restaurant,
Yeah.
every place has someone or the other who speaks
So
Arabic.
true, yeah.
So you've pretty much covered half of the globe's population in terms of
Absolutely.
language. There's no language barriers over here. So
Yeah.
all of that makes a city a lot more desirable to visit, to
stay,
stay in,
yeah,
to adopt.
yeah.
So luckily, we're proud now to
To be a part of this.
part of
and
the Dubai
and it's
story.
To call this as
Our
a home.
Exactly.
No, that is so correct. Now, on that note, now I'll just ask you that you mentioned that your first deal was when you earned 8,000 dirhams, and what was it like? Like, if you
So
just want
I
to
still
share.
remember my first deal. I was working for a boutique company. It was, I went in for a job. Like I said, I was 16 years old. It was the summer between my school and university. And I joined university a little bit young because I skipped 2 years of school. So I was still quite young. And, luckily I had a little bit of a stubble. So I still remember my boss. She's a very nice lady. She was a Russian lady, possibly my mother's age. And she said, Farooq, how are you going to work in real estate? You don't have a driver's license. I said, don't worry. Just don't worry about cars. I have to take a bus. I have to take there were no trains at that time, but I have to take a taxi, bus. I'll ask somebody to, friend, family, someone to pick and drop me. Just give me a chance to work. They kind of kept me as, okay, someone who can do the paperwork, admin,
All right.
that sort of job.
Okay.
A week later into the job, my boss told me, do you know Dubai Marina? I said, yes, of course. I had a friend that lived in Marina. She said, do you know Almas Tower? I said, my friend lives in Almas Tower. She's like, okay, great. Here's the key. There's a client who's going to come after a couple of hours. You need to show this apartment. I said, okay.
Okay.
Can you give me the details and stuff? She's like, yeah, this is the details. This is the price. This is the rent. And go and show it.
Okay.
I said, don't worry. I'll do it.
Okay.
I go there. I still remember it was in Almas Tower. It was a 3-bedroom apartment. I literally showed up. It was a rental. And at that time, it's on 6-7, the rents were at an
Wow.
all-time high.
Hi.
I go in, I open the door. He walks in, sees the apartment by himself, like, it's good. I'll take
Okay.
it.
All right.
And I said, okay.
Okay,
It was a
that's
rental,
right.
but still
Yeah.
he's like, it's good. I'll take it.
Okay.
I said, okay, great. Then I'm like, I don't know what to do next. I call up my boss. I'm like, boss, he wants to take it. She's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I said, he says he likes it. She's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure? He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, yes, boss. He says he's sure.
It's done. It's done.
I said, he
I
thinks he
closed
likes it. She's like, bring him to the office. I said, you want to
Yeah.
go to the office? He's like, yeah, sure, let's go.
Wow.
I said, okay, boss, I'm coming. I go to the office. the deal is signed, paperwork is signed, and
That
just to sort of
boosted
kind of
you.
boost my
Yeah,
confidence,
push you
she
towards
gave me the
this.
commission on that deal.
Oh, wow.
And I still remember, it was roughly about 8,000 and change. And I go home with that money and I go to my mom. I gave half of the commission to my mom because I'm like, I don't know what to do with 8,000 dirhams at that time. I'm like, I don't have any expenses, that weren't covered in my 500 dirham pocket money.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I have 8,000 dirhams. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, half the years, or actually
year.
pretty much the whole year's pocket money at once. I said, this is way too much money for me.
Yeah.
And I still remember I gave half of the money to my mom, and she was very proud. And it was really, really good.
Proud
Moment for me. It was literally a week into my job.
Oh, amazing.
A week, 1 week. It was within the first
That is-
week.
wow.
And I said, this is real estate. It's so easy.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do is open a door.
And just
People
there.
walk in, they like it, and
Yeah,
that's it. They
but
take
it's
it.
not.
But I was very wrong. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is not as easy.
It's just the luck.
Like I had a good start,
Yeah,
luckily.
yeah.
But then it took a few months before I was able to crack
Another
on
one.
and
Keep on going.
But
Yeah.
very blessed that my first couple of years in real estate, because the market was doing so well. 2006,
Yeah.
7, 8.
But that time,
that time was,
yeah.
I mean, even right now is a great time, but even
But
that
that-
time was
So
extremely
I
active.
just have a question. That time, how people used to connect to you guys? Like how right now everything is about social media,
Yeah.
leads and all that.
There's
But
no
that
social
time,
media. Yeah.
referrals. But that time is just there used to be a referral.
I mean,
or?
at that time, we used to have newspapers, ads.
yes, of
Everything
course.
was newspapers because
yeah, true.
there was no Dubizzle, there was no Property Finder, there was no
True.
social media.
True.
It was the initial days. The marketing was very different.
Correct.
So it was all about newspaper ads, putting your listings. Of course, we had those small one-line ads that people used to open the
And
the
see
classified,
what's-
and then see the for rent section, and then
Oh, yeah.
find those
Oh,
ads,
yeah,
and people
of
would call
course.
us. So that
Those
was
were
our
the
main source of
days.
marketing, newspaper, and putting
Wow.
up those ads. I still remember we could only afford the small ads, and then I used to see these companies with really big ads, and I'm like, oh, I wish you could be there. And I used to see these companies with
True.
full-page ads, and I'm like, these guys are the big ballers. So that's how it was.
Yeah.
But it brought a lot of business, and it was a lot of being on the phone, outbound calls,
True,
door
true.
knocking, very sort of basic ways of marketing. But it really builds you, and the amount of hard work we had to do. I feel I mean, not like right now is not hard work as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
It's
of course.
equally
It's no
hard to be on
different.
social
In
media,
fact,
and
it's
it's
more.
equally,
It's
because the
way
competition is
more,
getting a
yeah.
lot more as well.
Yeah.
But even
yeah.
at that time, just going out, networking, I had a lot of my clients were parents of my friends in university. In university, I went to the American University of Sharjah. So there we had some very, very good people who sent their kids and
Okay.
who were all, very affluent people. And luckily I was able to, but it's not easy, to
Yeah,
convince your friends' parents to choose you as a broker, because
Absolutely.
they're like, you're still a kid,
Yeah.
But luckily there were people that supported me. I still remember parents of my friends who supported me and used me as their broker. And that was what really gave me the boost in the beginning.
More, yeah.
And then, of course, it was not just that. And then, eventually you kind of learn the business, you learn the craft. And, I was surrounded by good agents. I learned from very good agents,
yeah, that's
who taught me what to do, what to
How to
promote,
do it, yeah.
gave me access to certain launches and certain
Amazing,
developers
amazing.
that had, because back in the day it was more about access because everyone wanted to buy.
Yeah.
But the supply was, there was, there'd be a building
It
that was
wasn't like
launched
this.
and there was sold out in the first day. Kind of similar to what's happening right
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah. 6, 7, 8 was, we used to have these launches, not even happening in developer offices. They used to be happening in 5-star hotels.
Okay.
They would, there was no escrow. There was a cowboy market,
That's it,
literally.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, resales were happening a lot. So what would happen is a building would get sold out, and then next day the resales would start,
Starts.
which doesn't exist anymore in Dubai. Because at that time there were no rules and regulations about paying land apartment fee. People would just kind of do an initial booking, put the apartment on their name, and then resell it literally
higher.
days
Oh,
later
wow.
at premiums.
And
So
make
we would
money.
go in, book a townhouse. Next day we're selling it
Again,
on
yeah.
5% premium. The guy's only paid
Amazing.
5%.
So it's
So it's like you
but
put 200,000, you get 200,000 back. Next day you sell it for 400,000.
Wow.
Yeah, literally. Because
Really?
let's say you bought a 2 million on a property, you
Yeah.
paid 10%, which is 200,000. A week later it's selling at 10% premium.
Amazing.
So it was all the hype the brokers are creating.
So it's
And
always
so there was
been
a lot
like
of
this
resale.
in Dubai, I
Yeah.
think.
No, but now of course we have other rules and regulations that
Yeah.
don't
Of
allow
course.
resales after at least 40% of the property is paid,
yeah.
to kind of curb that
True.
market as well.
Market as well,
You know,
yeah.
just to kind of allow more end users and long-term investors, because there were a
Yeah.
lot of gamers back then.
True.
People who only came in with a million dirhams and they were buying properties for 10 million dirhams, and they didn't have the money or the capacity to move on.
Correct.
People who come in with 500,000 and they start doing this, buying,
Right.
selling, just paying 10%, not having the
Right.
money. When times get, if there's a slight slowdown in the market, if there's a slight slowdown in the resale market,
Yeah.
these buyers could not continue their payments with developers.
True.
Then developers get stuck because they
Yeah.
have commitments from buyers that don't have the
Absolutely.
capacity to move forward.
Yeah.
And then their developments come into jeopardy. If you sold 40% of your building to people who don't have enough
know,
money to pay the second and third and fourth installments, and all of a sudden the market slows down slightly,
Yeah.
they stop paying. If they stop paying, you can't pay the contractor. So you are stuck
gone, yeah.
in a horrible position where
Yeah.
you have 60% of buyers who want the property, but 40% are these,
wants to
gamblers who've just put 10% down. Then your building is under jeopardy.
True.
So it put a lot of good developers in bad situations. So obviously today's market is very different.
Absolutely.
The government has learned, the land department has evolved,
Yeah,
RERA
yeah.
has put in very
So-
strict rules and regulations
Yeah.
in order
It's
to
making it very easy.
yeah, and you have to protect investors. You yourself, you're an
Absolutely.
investor in Dubai. You have
Yeah.
come over here. You have brought your money that you have earned in a
True.
foreign country to come to Dubai and put your money over here. The first
So
thing that you expect
correct.
is the protection.
Absolutely.
If you are not going to make money in Dubai,
Then
you're never
what?
going to
Yeah.
invest again.
True.
If you have money, the world is open to you.
Absolutely.
You don't just have Dubai as an option.
Yeah.
If you have money, you're an investor. The world is open for you. You
Yeah,
could
you
invest
do.
in
Anywhere.
Europe. You could
Yeah,
invest in Asia. You could,
anywhere.
there's other competing markets in the Middle East as well.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only reason why you'll invest in Dubai is when you make profit and you can sleep at night comfortably, knowing that nobody's running over your money.
That is so true.
If,
And
if,
this,
if,
I
if
think
tomorrow
this
you're
only
wondering,
happened here
yeah.
in Dubai. Yeah.
So you need that safety security as an investor, and I think
Yes.
Dubai's done that very well.
Very, very well.
By
I
developing
agree.
its rules and
I
regulations,
agree.
and hopefully we see this market flourishing and
more
moving
and
from
more and more. Yes,
strength to strength.
absolutely. I agree. So so now you've built one of the top real estate brand in Dubai. What's been your strategy behind that? How did you end up started with Springfield, and how would you describe your leadership style? I'm a big fan of your leadership style, by the way. I've seen you taking your agents, the way you take them everywhere, whether it's any of the developers office, any of the sites, you go together as a team, road shows. It just feels so nice.
Thank
The way
you
you
so
boost
much.
your team is commendable.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
See, a real estate company, I always think, has no real intrinsic value. It's built by the people
Yeah.
that are running that company
True.
and that are working towards making sure that company is a success. And that's how you build a brand. A brand is actually built by the people
Yeah.
that are behind that brand. So I quickly understood that me individually, I'm no one. I'm literally no one. I can't be a one-man show. I mean, I could, but there's very limited scope and growth in that. So understanding that you have to obviously take care of your people, reward your people, and provide them a platform to grow, especially in a market with such high competition. Like I said,
So true.
there's roughly 10,000 companies. Any
Yeah.
broker in my company today, if he wants to leave, in one day, he can get 10 to 20 job offers, if not more.
I'm sure.
And he can get the company of his choice. So the reason why they stay or why they grow in an organization is if they gain knowledge, if they're comfortable, if they feel like there's a benefit,
Absolutely.
and if this company really cares for their
Yeah.
personal growth.
So true.
You know, everyone is, of course, we're all working hard to
Yeah.
grow in this field. We all
Yeah.
left our countries
Yeah,
to
just
come
to
to a
come
new country
here.
to
Absolutely.
improve our life, to
Absolutely.
make a good living.
Absolutely.
So if
I agree.
a company doesn't support its people, if you're only looking at what's in it for me,
Yeah. Or
I
the
feel like
company.
you will never be able to really truly understand what your people want.
Yeah.
So having that mindset as a
It's very
leader, that you
important.
have to think about your people and what are they gaining and benefiting by
Yeah.
staying in an organization, is what
It
will
really matters.
make this
Yeah.
company grow, because each and every member of Springfield today is an ambassador for us.
Wow.
He goes out in the market, he represents our brand, proudly. When he talks to a client, he's an ambassador. When he talks to a fellow developer sales agent, he's an ambassador for the company.
Wow.
When he speaks to another agent in the market, he's an ambassador to the company.
Proudly. He's just
You know,
like
I,
so
I always talk,
amazing.
I think 2 years before is 2 years ago is when we got an actual recruiter in our company. 15 years I never had a
Really?
recruiter.
Oh.
Never had a recruiter. We never.
You didn't.
We
yeah.
literally didn't have a recruiter. We said,
Yeah. Okay.
no, we'll just grow by ourselves.
Yeah.
We have 5 good guys
Yeah.
who will bring 10 good guys. Those
And
10
then
good guys will bring their friends,
That's how you
who will
just
bring their
built
friends,
it.
who will bring their friends, and
Yeah,
that's how we
so
grew the
good.
company.
Wow.
It's literally 2 years ago we've got a recruiter in.
Amazing.
And just to say, now obviously we want to take it to a different scale.
Absolutely.
Now we're even in the middle of growing our office. We're doubling our office space right now.
Wow.
In terms of sales agents. So of
Right
course, with
now-
that quick growth now, we will need
More.
more, and the help of a recruiter. But all my years in business, I just felt like if people are doing well, and they can go and talk good about the company.
Yeah.
What do real estate brokers want? They want safety and security. That's number one.
Absolutely.
Safety and security in terms of their commissions.
True.
So if you have agents who you don't pay on time, or you don't tell them about the fact that the commission is received, because a lot of real estate companies it's a lot of cash flow.
That. Yeah.
I
comes to the
hear all the time,
company.
we have agents coming and giving us interviews from other companies who tell
Yeah.
us that, I haven't been paid. My
Yeah,
commissions have
it's
been
pretty
delayed.
sad,
The
yeah.
company hasn't,
Very,
I
very
know the company
sad.
received the commission in January and they
This
paid
thing-
me in April.
Wow.
I said, really? They said,
Yeah.
yes. I went back to the developer. I found out they had
They've paid it
they had paid
already.
us in January, but my company told me they hadn't received it, and I got paid in
Crazy.
April. Or
Crazy.
worse yet, I haven't been paid as yet.
Yeah.
So I hear those horror stories all the time. So I feel like for an agent,
It's very important.
that's very important.
Yeah.
And today I
to
can say, we have
secure.
150 brokers in our office.
Wow.
Anyone can ask anyone in the sales floor that has there ever been a payment that was delayed? Has there ever been a commission that was delayed? Even when the markets were tough, even when times were tough, when cash flows was
still
hard, we
together.
made sure that
Yeah.
our agents' money, our employees who are working on a salary model, their salaries are never delayed.
Yeah. True.
So that is something very important for a broker. Second thing is, like I said, most real estate brokerage companies provide a similar package. So why work for you?
Yeah.
There's always people outside who are
True.
promising the world,
Yeah.
maybe not delivering it, but promising the world. So for an agent to want to stay, they should feel safe, that their money is safe. Second is that they are learning, so
More
having
and
good
more, yeah.
trainings, having good,
Yeah.
and that they're professionally growing.
True.
And fourth thing is, I believe you should have a love for the company as well.
Absolutely.
You need
That
to
is
love
so true what
and
you're
enjoy
doing.
where you work.
Yeah.
Just because you feel like, okay, this is a great company, I'm learning a lot,
But
I'm getting paid on time, but I don't love the people.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
enjoy
so true.
going to
no
work every day.
point.
When I go in, there are some people that are sulking, there are some people that I don't like.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
culture
Oh my
within a
God,
company is very
Farooq,
important.
You're just so right. That is.
If you don't love,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons why we do, a lot of activations
Yeah.
within our team. We travel together.
Nah, I've seen your millionaire club.
yeah, we have
What
a
is
millionaire
that? I
club.
want to know that as well. What is the story behind it?
So the Springfield Millionaires Club was something that we started last year.
Yeah.
It's basically whoever crosses 1 million dirhams in commissions
Amazing.
in the last 12 months
Okay.
qualifies for the Springfield Millionaires Club. That means you've made 1 million dirhams in commission.
Okay.
And all our millionaires, we take them for an annual trip.
Oh wow.
So last year we took everyone to Bali.
Okay.
So last year we were 22 people.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
22 people that we went to Bali. That was a lot of fun.
wow. I'm sure.
We stayed together in this really cool resort with a
Nice.
villa. So we had like 4 or 5 villas.
Nice.
right next to each
Together,
other.
imagine with the
So all of
team
us
and
living
wow.
together, and there were massive villas with pools and all of that. We went on a 5-day trip, so everything is paid for, from your flights to the hotel
like
to the dinners.
company takes care
Everything,
of it.
everything,
Yeah,
everything is
it's
taken.
just
And we went to the best of the best restaurants. We went to the best of the best.
This is what I'm talking together as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
team.
yeah. So it was a
Wow.
lot of fun, and the whole idea of that. And we did activity where we went for whitewater rafting. We did
wow.
this ATV tour in Bali. It was stunning. And more than the activities is, first of all, everyone's traveling without having to plan anything.
Yeah.
Of course, without having to pay anything.
Yeah.
And we do it as individuals. So you don't bring your spouse along.
Oh,
So
really?
everyone
Okay.
just goes by. Because I feel like if you
Amazing.
bring,
So it's just like-
I don't even take my wife.
Yeah, okay.
And my wife is like really jealous of me. Every it's like, Farooq, I want to go to Bali and you didn't take me.
Yeah.
I said, Zara, if I take you, I'm going to be spending
Yeah.
all my time with you. Or at
Absolutely.
least I'll be spending a majority of my time. And the whole idea of this trip is that we bond together.
True.
We as
Just
a team
with the
bond
team.
together.
Yeah.
I
true.
learned so much about my own people when I travel. I feel like you find out a person's true colors when you travel with them.
Yeah.
So doing that, helps
so
us
true.
bond. So this year we
Getting
did
more-
Thailand.
Oh, wow.
We went to
nice.
Phuket this year. And this year, the number from last year was 22. This year was 33 people.
Oh, wow.
So we had 33
That's-
millionaires. And 4 or 5 people couldn't come
Okay.
due to some, family travel plans and other
So
reasons they were
approximately
unable to
double.
go. Yeah, approximately double
Wow.
the number of millionaires this year. So I was very proud of that fact. And, we had a different style this year. This year we stayed in one house. Imagine 33 people in one house.
Wow.
It was not a house.
Wow. It,
It
was,
was
like
a 20-bedroom
amazing.
mansion. It was called some Thai palace castle or something like that.
Everybody together.
Everyone together. It was basically like a mini resort.
I'm sure.
Just for us. So
Yeah.
you had 2 Olympic-sized pools separate. One we had a ladies section,
Oh,
and we had a
really?
guys section. Literally, it was built like a mini resort meant for like huge groups staying together. Beautiful views over the sea. We were all a little bit higher up on a mountain. Natural beauty.
Amazing.
It was a stunning place to stay. Like literally waking up every day to those views and the style of that place, and the overall activities that we did was unbelievable.
See,
I
this
think we
is
had
what,
so much
yeah,
fun.
this is what your team, it's all about, the entire team.
You have to create that love for the company, and you have to also keep the fact that you have to motivate each other,
Yeah, very,
and
very
you have
important.
to stay competitive. Because I understand that there's a lot of people that I wanted to take on this trip but were unable to cross the million number. So it's kind of that push as well,
Push
that
them as well to
we
work
have to
hard next year.
Yeah,
for
we
the next
have to
one.
work hard to do this. We're gonna get these kind of opportunities, and of course throughout the year we try to do a lot of other activities, parties,
Amazing.
and things like that, just together. To kind of get that kind of feeling of ownership
Yeah.
for everyone. I always say every member of Springfield should own Springfield.
Yeah.
They should
that's so
own the
true.
fact that this is my company. They should be proud of the fact that this is our company.
Yeah.
It's not Farooq or Mr. Masroor's company or Mr.
Then
Abdullah.
only I
No.
think you grow. It's very important.
They should
yeah.
feel the fact that this is our brand. We are ambassadors of this company,
Yeah.
and we own this company.
I think that is what Springfield makes it's different from the others, and I think
We-
it's about the love which you have amongst yourself
Of course,
and the team.
that's very, very important, and that's something that I hopefully we can keep continuing even with our growth, are able to
Yeah.
keep that feeling of ownership
Always.
within all members of our
Yeah,
team.
no, for sure. But I just, it comes to agent. When it comes to agents, like how do you see them? Like how do you select or train them? What is like your criteria when you come? When it
So,
comes to, yeah.
of course, now, with the passing of time, our criteria keeps getting tougher and tougher
Amazing.
in terms of the kind of people that we want to, associate with. Of course, we want people with some experience and background. We don't want to get, now we try to shy away from freshers, people who are coming fresh in the market, unless we feel like they're exceptional talents or they have very good overseas experience, like an experience in another market,
Yeah,
real
correct.
estate background. But we want to be, we want people that are, the reason why we want experienced people is that I always think, the first 6-8 months, 1 year, real estate looks very rosy from the outside.
So true.
when people look at, especially in Dubai now, over the last few years, anyone you see driving a nice car, you think, okay, he's probably a broker. Because there is money in real estate. People are making a very good
and
bank.
Big money.
Big money in real estate,
So, of course.
But people don't understand the amount of rejection that you have to go through when you're working in real estate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Especially someone coming from a fancy, corporate background who's non-sales might not understand that picking up the phone and calling, hundreds of people before you get your first successful client interaction.
True.
They're not willing to sign up for that. Or with today's social media growth, a lot of influencers think that I can become a real estate broker.
True.
I have very good visibility, but they don't realize the amount of work that you have to do off camera in order to be successful.
Absolutely.
I always say yesterday, I might be, some people call me an influencer on social media as well, but I actually think, man, first 15 years of first 10 years of my real estate, there was no social media. I just did real estate marketing and prospecting and negotiating, the classic way of prospecting, and the old school way of doing it. So it's okay, sure. 4 or 5 years ago, I stumbled upon the fact that social media can be a great way to market and further boost the brand and the company image. So I use that, but knowing the basics is very important. And so that's important when we're looking at people. We're looking at their motivation.
Correct.
What's their motivation to be doing? And if someone says, "Oh, just money," sure, money is a big factor, but there should be some love for the craft as well. In order to be successful, I believe you need to love what you do. So obviously the reason why you're successful in your field is because I'm sure you have a love for fashion, social media, branding, marketing. This is your passion.
Unless you not love, how will you give your time?
How will you give your time? How will you give your 100%?
Absolutely.
And I always say I eat, breathe, sleep real estate, not because I have to, it's because I enjoy it. I actually, after work hours, I like to sometimes sit down and discuss deals. I like to discuss opportunities in the market. Sometimes with my spouse, we sit back and over a cup of coffee, we're just talking about the market, and that, because she obviously we've been together for so long that now she enjoys everything I enjoy as well. But it's my love for this field.
Absolutely.
So same thing.
It's always like
That's what we have to.
Relate.
That's what we try to always gauge. In our interview process is we want people who will also fit into our culture. So I always say, if you have a bad attitude, and I've had this tough decisions to make many times, is when I've had brokers who are big closers and I've had to fire them.
Really?
I don't even like to use the word fire, but I've had to let them go because of the fact that they haven't shown that camaraderie when they're working together. They haven't shown that good attitude. They have had issues with multiple members of the team, and you're like, as a business owner, sometimes it's so hard because you're like, man, this guy's brought 10 deals in the last 3 months, and I'm actually going through that right now, where we've had a very, very successful broker come in and just hit it out of the park.
Amazing.
And now they're having issues with many of our team members, and for us, we can't have someone with bad attitude in the office. For us, gauging that is very important.
It just ruins the entire atmosphere.
It spoils it. I would rather not have someone who's a big closer but has a bad attitude.
It doesn't work like that.
Because it spoils, and it shows that the company only values money rather than valuing, having a good culture in the company. So that's very important, and we try to gauge that. Not always easy to gauge in an interview process, but of course, with experience, we've tried to find the right people who will fit into our organization, and people that are most importantly willing to learn.
True.
Because you have some people with 10 years experience, 15, they feel like they know it all. So I always say the age between, let's say, late 20 years to late 30s. This is the best sort of age where people are at their prime, willing to learn.
They are,
They have had some experience in the professional world. They're excited. Hopefully, they have a lot of responsibilities by this age, family, and other commitments financially that they have to take care of. So they're very serious about their work. If you get people into your team that have 20, 25 years of experience, they're not willing to change. They're not willing to learn. They feel like they know it all, and it becomes tough for us as a company also to kind of manage them and to kind of help them grow.
Yeah, that's always there. Yeah. So now, since we talk about social media, it's very important nowadays. The social media is the key, and I have a biggest example sitting in front of me. So, what do you think is the key factor? Like all the agents should keep in mind when they coming to the social media and when they're doing the videos or anything related to it.
I feel social branding today has become a must.
Yeah.
It is just another way where clients, validate your existence.
True.
They validate your background. This is just something that you cannot ignore today. And if you are, you're doing yourself a disservice. So there are agents that don't exist on social media that do big closings. But I always say, imagine what more you could do if you did exist on social media, because you have
Absolutely.
very good prospecting skills, you have very good presentation skills, you have very good negotiation skills, you have very good follow-up skills, you have very good customer relationship skills. You have all of this.
Yeah.
But imagine now you added social media and you got
Yeah.
more people through the door coming
Yeah.
into your.
And you never know what you
Pipeline.
close. You just don't know.
You don't know who
Do
you're losing.
do you want to share any of your experience with social media, like your
I
lead
mean,
which-
for in our company, we push everyone to do it. And I often say this: I've lost count on how many billions I have sold from social media.
Really?
Not millions,
billions.
billions I have
Wow.
sold from social media.
Amazing.
Every other month, I have deals that close from my personal social media.
Really?
I mean, every day I get leads on my social media.
So, people just like
I
DM you
distribute
and they
these
just
leads
like,
amongst our top performers in the
Okay.
company.
Okay,
And
they filter it and
most
then-
most of the time they're the ones that are closing the deals. But the source is always from I mean I can track down my own
social.
deals, right? So
yeah.
I mean now the number's gone in the billions that I've closed from social
Really?
media. So if you ask me, I still remember 5-6 years ago when I closed, I think it was maybe pre-COVID, when I realized the power of social media. It was literally I closed a client, I think it was a couple of years before COVID, when I really started kind of using social media. So I was always active on social media, but I didn't really think about
About it as
posting real estate content. There was all about my traveling, my this, my family, whatever, me going out, fancy
For you,
restaurants,
social
dinner.
media as a YouTube or
No,
Insta-
I mean Instagram. So I
Okay.
started YouTube right before COVID, 2019.
Okay.
Mid and end of 2019 is when I started YouTube, but I'm talking about Instagram. When I got my first major client was someone who literally DM'd me on Instagram,
Okay.
asked me about a building,
Okay.
that was under construction. I really thought, okay, this is kind of weird, because I posted about something on my
Okay.
social media, like a story
Okay.
that I'm out over here, and it was a story reply, sparked a conversation. Long story short, in 2000, I think it was 16, 17, 18, when this building on JBR called 1 JBR was launched.
Yeah.
I was under construction,
Okay.
this person DM'd me. I ended up selling her roughly about 50 million worth of inventory
Really?
in this building.
Wow.
And back in the day, the commissions were very, very good.
That is so good.
Better than what they are today.
Really?
Yeah, better payment plans. And, I helped them to buy over 55 million worth of inventory. Then I resold all of that stock as well.
Wow.
So it was over like 120 million worth of transactions.
In a
And
row.
since then, they've just been buying and selling through me.
Wow.
So it's been a relationship that's been going.
Which
I have
is-
made millions. I mean, in the first 6 months, I made over $1 million dirhams in commissions with them. Millions in commissions, not a million.
Just with them. And
Yeah,
that
just
lead
with that
came
one
from,
lead.
yeah.
That's when I realized that, wait a second, this is something major
Major.
that I should not ignore.
Miss it. Yeah. Yeah.
This is something that can really, really lead to serious business. And that's when I really started kind of promoting real estate on my social media.
Amazing. Okay.
And of course,
and then-
then we just kind of kept taking it up and up. And I've always believed, even for our company to grow and be branded and be known in the market, it's social media is a major reason.
yeah, true.
It's not just because not everyone is looking at our online advertisements. Not
No.
everyone is looking at our newspaper advertisements. Not everyone is
Absolutely not
looking at, billboards.
Yeah.
There are people that are, our clients are sitting overseas. There are clients from
Yeah.
Europe, from the US, from Canada, from India
Absolutely.
that have seen no digital presence or
True.
no actual physical presence of our company's existence, but they know and do business with us, and they, most importantly, they trust us.
Yeah, so true.
We are not just a company that sells small things. We're not a
Even if it's a big thing, they know, like, you can sense it. Come on. In social media, the camera says it all.
Yeah,
like,
you
how you're
can't-
doing. I think you don't, when you do your videos or any of the, you don't use script, right? It comes naturally,
Yeah,
whatever
I can't
it is.
use a script.
So, like, same with me. So, like, when it comes to naturally, you can actually relate to the
course.
clients and to the people. And that's where they contact you. And that's what I think the consistency is the key,
Consistency is the key. It's not an overnight
Thing, which,
process to
absolutely.
kind of market yourself on social media. You have to consistently show up,
True.
and it's tough. People think it's you have it naturally. No, even while having a natural gift for social media,
Yeah.
it still requires a lot of planning.
Yeah, of course.
Scheduling.
Of
I mean,
course.
us sitting over here, we're scheduling our time. You're
course.
spending your
Yeah.
money and time and resources in order to
Absolutely.
create content
Yeah.
so that people can
True.
see this,
True.
online and gain something from this. That's also very important. It's not just
Absolutely.
about
It's just
today's
about
social media. It's
doing-
about
no.
what are you giving to other people
Other
that is of
people.
value.
Value, absolutely. Until unless you're not adding value to their thoughts or their life, there's no point.
So
of
even as
doing it.
in real estate, like I said, it's become, in my opinion, a must. And people who are not doing it are leaving money on the table.
Yeah, that is.
And they
correct.
should do it. And it's become pretty much a requirement in Springfield.
Yeah,
That means
which
if
is
you
fair.
are here, you should be doing social
should
media.
be.
And if you're not, we're going to look at you and ask you,
Like,
buddy, there's
why?
something,
Come on, like.
So you won't have a cultural fit in our company if you're not doing social
Yeah,
media.
so you're trying to say that you have 150 people and all of them, you
Pretty much
making sure that
everyone is
is
required to
bang
be
on.
on social
They're
media.
doing it.
I mean, there might be people who still
Yeah, like
are fighting against their
camera.
existence on social media, and they just don't want to be in front of a camera.
Yeah.
But pretty much we push everyone.
Amazing.
I mean, especially if you don't have the
That's-
numbers to back you up, you're going to have a lot of pressure in our company.
No, that's very important. Okay, tell me something. What is good lead and what is bad leads?
A good lead and a bad lead.
Yeah, this I really want to know because I've heard people saying it's a bad lead. Like, what is the difference?
See, of course, a lead is a lead. Whether it's good or bad depends on the person on the other side of the phone. How willing they are to buy real estate.
True.
However, most companies, I can tell you, do their marketing based on certain metrics. Sure, everyone is going to have a certain percentage of
True.
good leads. What I mean to say is people that are actually interested to buy.
Yeah.
And by that lead, you meant, sometimes on online ads, if you don't target properly, you could have people clicking on an ad
Just like that.
that didn't understand what this ad is.
Okay.
For example, they saw a building, they didn't understand the currency. They thought this is, I don't know, a different currency. Or if you're promoting Dubai real estate, but you're showing an ad in a foreign country and you're showing Dubai's currency,
True.
1 million dirhams,
True.
and someone sitting in India thinks it's 1 million rupees and puts an ad, replies to that ad, is because it's a misleading ad.
Yeah.
So obviously there is something known as a bad lead, because if the company doesn't promote
Market.
or market their ads
Yeah.
properly, you
Yeah.
could come across people who found the ad misleading and put up an inquiry but didn't realize that, it's 1 million dirhams. Oh, sorry, I thought it's 1 million rupees.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a bad lead. A broker can't do anything with it. However,
Yeah,
I personally believe most real estate companies who are spending a lot of money on their marketing
absolutely.
try not to do
Get
misleading
those, yeah,
ads. So they get
absolutely.
good leads, most
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
But brokers are the ones
Yeah,
that are able to gauge, understand,
true.
push out the right options to the client,
Yeah.
and they could make a very good lead into a sour lead just
well.
because they did not properly
Follow up.
manage, understand, or comprehend the
yeah.
requirements of the client. So I could give you, if you're a good broker, I could give you someone who's like sort of has the money but not really sure about buying. But if you are able to sell well, create the hype,
True.
find out the actual pain points of the client,
Right.
and are able to solve that,
Right.
you will make that sort of warm lead into a
Into a
hot
hot
lead.
lead.
And you
Yeah.
could have someone who's very hot, but if the sales agent
Is not.
is
that
unable to
so
understand
true.
his requirement,
That is
or if
so
the
true.
buyer is unable to buy into the fact that this is the right
True.
consultant, because you have to remember, every client who buys real estate,
Yeah.
how many agents do you think he speaks to?
Oh, many.
Exactly. You speak to minimum, I would say,
Yeah.
5 to 10 brokers in Dubai's real estate market.
Easily.
If I take the number of 10, he
Yeah.
generally closes with one.
One.
So the remaining
Yeah.
9 brokers will say, I'm not sure this
Yeah.
is a good lead or not. So 9 brokers will say this lead was not good.
Yeah, true.
But that one broker who actually closed it will say it was a great lead.
Yeah.
Or those 9 brokers are like,
true.
man, I'm not sure. I think this guy just wasting my
Yeah.
time. He took me around to
True.
see many. So,
Yeah.
getting to that good, making
You
that
have
hot
thought.
lead into
Yeah.
a deal
Yeah.
is also not for everyone.
Yeah, that's
There are
true.
brokers in our office who we know that if I give him, let's say, a certain number of, if I give him 10 leads, he will close one deal.
Wow.
And then there are agents that I'll give them 30 leads, but they close none.
Yeah.
Then there are agents that will take 50 leads and maybe close one. So I know
You know
that
the
this guy,
potential.
if I give him 100 leads, I can expect this much business. This guy, if I give
And
him,
it's the same lead which will go to them, and the other person is the same.
course, we have the
thing.
same
Yeah, it's always
campaigns
one.
running.
Yeah, so it's the same.
sure, if you're
thing.
talking about
Yeah.
200 leads, if I'm giving, let's say, 100 leads in a month.
Yeah.
So of course, sure, I don't expect all 100 leads to close in a month,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I understand that a certain percentage will be super hot, certain percentage will be warm kind of leads, some might be cold leads, and some might be, disqualified
True,
leads,
true,
which
true.
might be due to not doing
Yeah.
the correct.
Yeah.
Either they didn't understand the ad or they put in the wrong lead. So we understand there's a certain percentage of what we expect to get out of
Absolutely.
a certain. If a company is spending millions, we're not
They will
spending
not
millions just
get
by
Just to buy
just to
random
buy
leads.
leads.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we are investors. We invest this
Absolutely.
money in marketing and we
true, to
expect a
get-
return from this marketing.
Absolutely.
And we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because if I was doing this, I'm doing this for 17 years.
True.
I've been doing
know.
digital ads and marketing for many, many years.
Yeah.
I'm not just burning my money.
Absolutely.
I know exactly if I'm spending $1 million dirhams over here, I will be able to generate,
True.
X amount of business from this.
Yeah.
So whatever that response is, I know a good broker is going to be able to take that lead and convert it
Make
into
it-
a
no,
deal.
That's correct.
So,
and I
This
think
word, when I hear brokers say, there were no good deals or there were no good leads.
Yeah.
But a good broker will say, you know what? Sure, there are always certain,
It's just a strategy how you
how you're able to speak,
speak,
how you're able to gain trust. Because you have to
Absolutely. It's
remember,
very
someone buying
important.
a multi-million-dollar property from you wants to make sure that you are the right
Yeah.
person for me to do business with.
Yeah.
So how you sell yourself, how you build your credibility
Absolutely.
over a phone call, how you're
Yeah.
able to understand the client's requirements. If the client's budget is 5 million, but all you keep telling him is about this 1 million or 2 million property, or you keep talking about a villa which is 4 bedrooms when he's a single guy and would
Yeah, so you
much
just
rather
like-
prefer something on the
Yeah,
water with
or
a brand,
true.
in the center of the city, but you're telling him, you know what, leave all of that.
It's the
This new
knowledge.
townhouse project, it's so good. It's amazing community. You have parks, you have schools. You have like 3 schools in the community which are coming. He's like, dude, I'm not married. I don't have kids. You're telling me about schools. Like, I want to be away from schools.
Yeah.
So, a broker needs to understand the requirements of the
True,
client. And if you
true.
don't understand that and you end up pitching something, sure, the guy might listen to you, but he's never going to call you back.
Yeah.
And that's how
So
a
what
lot
do
of
you
brokers
think,
lose.
Farooq? What should be the strategy for the agent when they get, and for example, let's say you,
Yeah.
if you'll get a call from a client or anything, referral, or what will be your way to start the conversation?
So for me,
with
I
your
always say you need to listen more and talk less.
Yeah.
So first is, of course, you go through your basic introductions, who you are, your background, a little bit about your company, the brand that you're representing. A good salesperson will try to get the other person speaking. If you can get the lead to speak, talk about what they require, talk about what their preferences are. And by the way, it's not easy to get somebody else to talk. It also requires a certain amount of social skills, emotional intelligence to kind of understand what kind of questions to ask. If you ask somebody, what's your budget? Don't ask me my budget before, and then you might
don't
not
even
get the
know
right
about
answer.
me.
You want to start off by,
At least, yeah.
what have you seen? What have you, what communities do you like? Have you had the chance to explore? How long have you been in the city? What are your basic requirements? If you can get the other person to speak, ask open-ended questions, you will get cues from the client. If he has already seen a community many times, You can ask him, what do you like? What do you not like? What do you not like about that community? Now think. He says, I don't like the fact that it's very far away from my kid's school. Boom. Now he has a kid. How old are your kids? What school do they go to? Or where do you think
you just have to
your
make
wife
that
works? Where do you
complete-
work? What do you prefer, being closer to
Yeah.
where you work or your kid's school is? All of that, understanding that. Where have you lived? Where the person lives gives you a very good idea of what he expects. If he lives in a 5-bedroom villa, in a super nice community,
True.
and you're offering him, let's say, a townhouse, like, no, I want to,
Yeah.
potentially upgrade,
Yeah,
not downgrade. Or you start pitching him waterfront apartments, but he says, no, I need this space, I need a garden. So trying to understand what the other person wants,
correct.
but also it's very important to build your credibility,
Yeah, absolutely.
because not everyone wants to open up to every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah.
You want to talk your
First
requirements,
make
your business
yes,
with
true.
someone who you think
Yes.
will bring me some sort of benefit. I'm not going to
Absolutely.
speak to you if I
Yeah.
don't think you are the right agent to work with.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you start asking me what's my requirement, no.
Yeah,
If it's a lead, that means there is a requirement on the other side.
for sure.
Someone who's generally putting in a lead or registering their interest about a project has some requirement.
Yeah.
It might not be exactly what he's inquired for,
But at
but
least
that's
something, yeah.
your job as a
Yeah.
salesperson to kind of
Find
get.
out.
So my strategy is always, of course, luckily with the social branding, they understand my background and they understand. I always say social branding just makes a conversation
Easy.
easier. Previously I would have to tell them, oh, I have this many years of experience.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the right broker. I've had this much success in this developer, in that developer, in this project, in this. I've sold these many houses. I know everything about this community that you are inquiring in, which of course people gauge that as well
Yeah,
over a
yeah,
conversation.
Yeah.
But now, luckily with social media, there's less of, blowing my own horn that I need to do, or blowing my own trumpet, which I need to do in
More.
order to kind of tell people about
What is it?
what my background is. So social branding and social media just makes that
Yeah.
process easier of building credibility, and then trying to get the other because most salespeople are like myself also love to speak,
Yeah.
love to talk. So sometimes for people who love to talk and love to present, they end up not listening to what the other person has to say.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting across from a client, you should be just trying to take in as much
as you
information and as much cues that you can receive from the other
Very,
side, so that
very
you can
important.
tailor your approach to offering the right property and right solution, because people will only pay you money
When
and
they-
commission when you are solving a problem for them.
Absolutely.
If you're not a problem
That
solver,
is-
you can't bring a solution to their pain
Nothing.
points. You're not going to get
No,
paid too
I
much.
agree. I agree. Yes, I agree to that. Okay, now tell me something, Farooq. You've born and brought up here. You've seen Dubai, how it was during 2008 when it was crashed, the whole thing. And then after COVID, when the market is just booming and booming and booming, and it's still booming. So
Yeah.
what do you think where the market is, real estate market is heading right now in Dubai?
See, since COVID, like you said, we've seen a very healthy market growth.
Yes.
The market growth of 21, 22, 23 was extremely fast. Over the last 1 year, we've seen the percentage of, because of course you can't keep growing double digits every year, right?
Yeah.
It's not healthy for a market to keep
Yeah.
growing double digits every year. But I think today we're at a very healthy point in the market where we're seeing a healthy growth as compared to most other major cities around the world.
True.
Plus, we have very good rental return in
Yeah,
our
that's-
property market. We have a stable 5 to, let's say, 8% rental return for most properties around Dubai, which is a very healthy number.
Yeah, very,
Most
very
developed cities, you get anywhere between literally from 2% to 3%
Yeah, that's
rental
Yeah.
yield, if not less.
True.
So we have a very healthy rental return in this market.
Yeah.
We're still seeing prices grow. All right. We don't have, of course, I mean, you're not going to see 25% growth annually.
Yeah.
Sure. That's not, like I said, a healthy growth trajectory. But anyone who's investing in Dubai or buying real estate in Dubai is understanding the fundamentals that run this city,
True.
which is right now, more and more people around the world
Yeah.
are moving to Dubai and calling it their home.
Absolutely.
We are having, lots of business growth. The 2033 agenda talks about how Dubai wants to, make the business grow multiple times over from what it is today.
Yeah.
The 2040 urban plan talks about doubling the population.
Correct.
If you just believe in the fact that this city is going to keep growing at the pace it is.
Yeah.
You will have an inherent requirement for housing,
True.
and prime real estate in Dubai always does well. So I don't,
Yeah.
sure, the growth will not
Doubt
be
about it.
the 2021, 2022, 2023, because you have to remember, we saw a softening market and then we saw a reduction in prices in 2020,
Yeah.
in the year of 2020. So the response
We
was,
got after that.
the recovery was very fast. So now
boom.
we have recovered
Yeah. And
to
we,
the pre-COVID
Yeah.
numbers, and now the growth is still healthy.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
I said, this year we have seen the highest transaction value, volume and value, both
Already.
in the history of Dubai in the
Yeah.
first 6 months of this year.
Yeah.
So it just
Which is-
all the
which shows-
indicators, the numbers
Yeah,
are
says it
showing
all.
growth.
Yeah, every
If people are
day.
coming and saying, "Oh, but the market has already grown so much.
Yeah.
Is it going to keep growing?
Yeah.
Is it
What's
the
the
right time to buy now? Maybe the best time was 3 years ago." I said, "Yeah, sure. The best time was 3 years ago."
Yeah.
But all the numbers are talking about how Dubai is doing so well. People are moving in.
So true.
Businesses are opening. Emirates IDs are being issued. Cars are being bought.
Absolutely.
Traffic is increasing.
Crazy.
Everything is just increasing. If you just go to the mall on a weekend,
God,
you know,
yeah,
you
it's
you can
crazy.
feel
Yeah.
the buzz in the city.
All around.
And I believe that anyone who's buying real estate in Dubai should believe in the long-term future prospects of the city.
Yeah, what
You are,
what
and,
is-
and most investors who do buy real estate, they do think of a 5 or 10 year timeline.
Absolutely.
So
I
5 years and 10 years in this city is you will turn sand into gold.
Yeah, that is I agree, because the plans they have is like amazing, commendable. Yeah.
So I do believe that, sure, there might be in this 10, 15 year cycle, there might be years of slower growth, but I don't believe that people will lose if they keep a long-term mindset
True.
in this city.
True, for sure.
And I think, of course, like they say, real estate can get sick, but it never dies.
Yeah.
There might
That's
be
a very
moments
good
of
line.
time when the market slows down, then market picks up again, the market slows down, then picks up again. But Dubai
What
as a city
is-
will continue to grow.
Yeah, that's actually so correct. That's why why millionaires and billionaires are moving to Dubai. Like there's so
Highest
many.
number of millionaires that have moved to Dubai in any city around the world.
What they're seeing, they know the future of Dubai. That
They're
what is
smart
coming.
people.
Yeah.
They're making decisions. When we attract these kind of people, they bring wealth with them,
Yeah.
which then creates jobs, which creates businesses, which
Yeah.
creates movement in the economy.
Yeah,
So
that is so
we believe
true.
that Dubai is going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
And with that, the real estate market will continue
Good.
to grow.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now tell me something, Farooq. When for the first time buyers, when they come to invest in Dubai, like what are the key legal risks they should be aware of when they're investing when it comes to mortgage or ROI? Like,
All right.
Yeah.
So the risks in Dubai
Yeah.
are, of course, you have to go for areas that, basically when you're looking at a real estate project or
Yeah.
something, there are
Yeah.
some basic things that you should look
Yeah.
for. One is that the projects are registered
Yeah.
on the Dubai Land Department system. You
Through
can today
escrow. Yeah.
verify the project registered.
Yeah.
Registration is visible on Dubai Land Department's website, so you can always verify.
Yeah.
Second is whenever somebody is investing in Dubai, let's say you're buying a property from Emaar or Damak or Shoba, whoever, make sure the payment, like you said, is going into an escrow account. You don't pay a broker.
True.
You don't pay a brokerage company.
Yeah,
You
or
don't
a
even pay the
developer.
developer's corporate
Yeah,
account.
yeah.
You pay into the development's
And
escrow account.
Yes.
Of course, make sure that you're working with a broker that is registered.
True.
Someone whose history you look into,
True.
that they have been in the market. They're not a fly-by-night kind of broker, because at the end of the day, if you are working or investing based on somebody's advice, you want to make sure that they are credible brokers
Yeah.
that
So
have a
true.
track record in the market,
Yeah.
because it's
Very
your decision, your
important.
money, which somebody is influencing. So
Yeah.
make sure that you are having the right influence when you are making a decision.
Yeah.
So basics are, making sure that everything is registered, project is registered, broker is registered, and besides that, there are really, very minimal risks when you're buying real estate in Dubai, because more likely, most likely, any project that is being advertised today is registered. Escrow accounts are existent. Dubai's real
Amazing.
estate regulatory agency, which is RERA, is so strict on people who are advertising, because they want to protect the brand of Dubai.
Absolutely.
So
They
if
can't
if
just
I'm
take
going
a
out and
chance.
talking about a project, and that project doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
they
it's
do-
not
yeah,
just
that's
I'm
that's
spoiling my
true. You
brand, I'm
can't.
spoiling the brand of the city of
Yeah.
Dubai.
They think
So
about the city.
Dubai
yeah,
Land
it's
Department
not
is
individual
very, very careful.
about
That's why
all
if you see most of
this.
the real estate ads, they will, you know, we're required to have a
QR
code
code.
at the
Yes,
end that people can
absolutely.
scan,
Yeah.
and it takes them to the land department website,
Mm.
which verifies that project,
That it is existing.
which verifies the
Yeah.
registration of that project. And of course, the project is registered, the escrow accounts are mentioned, clients who are buying into that project are
Amazing.
safe. Besides that, in terms of the risks, you want to make sure that whichever developer you're
Has to
investing
be.
with is, you know, someone who has a good track record.
Yeah,
Of course, you have the big government names,
Yeah.
which are, you know, pretty much, 100% risk free. But even if you're going for a private developer, most of them are excellent. But of course, going for a bigger name, going for someone who has a good track record of developing
It's very
good
important.
properties, you know, it's very important. And then
Yeah.
thirdly is you want to make sure that whatever price that you're buying is the right price, because
Yeah.
you could buy in a very good community, you could buy in a very good from a very good developer,
True.
you could buy from the right broker who's registered, everything is fine. But if you're not buying at the right price,
It doesn't. Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't really make a
that's,
difference.
that's
You know,
true. That's why they
you're not
say
really going to profit from that investment.
Yeah.
So
it
luckily,
has to
Dubai
be
has
all three.
exactly. Dubai has
Yeah.
now started publishing,
Project
sale numbers. So
yeah.
you can actually
Which
look
you
at a
can see.
building, you can look at a project, and you can look at all the past sales
Yeah.
that have happened in that
Yeah,
project or in that
with-
building, and you can
true.
see that okay, yeah, all the past transactions have happened at, I don't know, 3.5 million, and I'm getting something at 3.4. It's the right price.
Yeah, true.
You know,
No,
there's a market for this. You can even see the number of sales that have happened in a building
Yeah.
to see how much movement that there is in the
Everything
market.
you can see now. Nowadays, it's,
It's
so easy.
so crystal clear.
Yeah, it's
And
so
everything is
clear.
online. You know, you can be sitting in the US and buying real estate in Dubai, knowing exactly what's happening in the market, how many transactions have happened, what the brokerage company has done, what the developer has done, what the status of the development is as well. Like, for example, if a building's under construction, all the construction progress reports are verified and published by the land department.
Yeah.
This is not a developer says, oh, my building is 80%, but the land department website says it's only 40%. So all of that numbers are
Everything is
properly
there.
shown on Dubai Land Department's
Yeah,
website. So it's very crystal clear and a
sorted.
very safe environment for international buyers. And that's the reason why we're seeing so many transactions.
Amazing, amazing. And tell me something for the first time buyers or international buyers. Does Dubai government give mortgage or to NRIs? This is what most of the people, they just think about that. Okay, are we eligible for the mortgage? What is the criteria basically?
So non-residents,
yeah.
certain, depending on their bank profile back home, could be eligible for a mortgage.
Okay.
So non-resident Indians are eligible for a mortgage, but you will have to speak to a mortgage advisor in Dubai and see whether you are eligible.
Okay.
However, we have other financing options like payment plans from developers.
Okay.
So if you're an overseas Indian, non-resident Indian, you could buy from a developer and enjoy a 3 to 4 to up to even there's 5 and 6 year interest-free payment plans that you can get from a developer. So that is one financing option. And of course, if you have a good profile overseas, you can get a mortgage in Dubai as well.
Really?
Yes.
What about the taxation? Even that also comes, when they talk about the taxation over their country and taxation here. How does that work?
So you'll have to, of course, depending on which country you're coming from, you'll have to see whether that country has global taxation eligibility. So yes, many countries do have global taxation. For example, if you're an American citizen, you have to pay tax on all your income around the world.
Absolutely.
If you're a Canadian citizen, you don't have to pay global taxation. You only
Yeah.
pay taxes on the income you earn in your country.
Yeah.
So India, also you have to check the rules because they do have taxation rules for non-resident, for resident Indians who are investing abroad.
Yeah.
So of course, your country's taxes you do have to take care of, but Dubai has zero tax when it comes to, there's no annual property tax. There's only 4% land department fee at the time of buying, which is
That's about it.
your DLD
Yeah,
fees,
that we
or
know.
people call it the stamp duty overseas.
yeah.
So that's a one-time payment that you pay to the government.
Yeah.
You have no annual property tax. You have no capital gains tax.
Yeah.
You don't have any inheritance tax. No taxes after you have bought. Whatever profit you make is yours. Inheritance is not a problem. If you have a will, it goes to your,
to your
kids or
kids and- yeah.
whoever inherits your property. Everything is crystal clear and smooth. You don't have any other expenses beyond that.
So you're trying to say that no, so the buyers when they want to, for example, a buyer from US, he wants to invest here, and he wants to do the mortgage and all that. So is he like how he's going to do it back in the country? Of course, they have to do the taxation, but here, if he's not non-resident, how he can just go for it?
So if you are a resident, you pay 25% down
Yeah.
and you can get up to a 75%
Okay.
mortgage.
Okay.
If you are a non-resident
Yeah.
in Dubai,
Yeah.
you'll have to pay a higher down payment.
Okay.
So generally you'll have to pay up to 50%
Okay.
down payment,
Okay.
and the remainder 50% can get financed from the bank.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's
for non-residents, you do
okay.
have finance opportunities, but of course you have to submit your income statements from your country. You have to provide your
And after the
tax
they will
statements.
go through all
and
that.
they will go through all that, and
And
there
then-
is financing options for non-residents as well.
Okay, then they will do it.
But
Okay.
you just have to pay a higher amount down for the property.
All right, all
Because banks also want to safeguard their interests.
True,
right?
true. Okay, all right. Okay, tell me something now with so much rush all around. I mean, so many projects coming up. Entire world is talking about Dubai, 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 Dubai. Is it like kind of scary?
Scary, I think it's completely the opposite. I think it's a great time
Yeah.
to be in Dubai. I think it's pretty much the opposite of being scary. You know, I think we are blessed to be in this city at this time where the world has its eyes on us.
Yeah,
You know, the world is envious of our growth,
yeah.
of not just our market, but pretty much every other market in Dubai is
Yeah.
booming. We're doing very, very well. So scary, not at all. It's pretty much the opposite. I think we are blessed to be at this time, and we should take as much advantage as we can,
Right.
in business at this time, because there are times that come. There could be 10 years of growth, there could be 15 years of growth. You want to make sure that you make the most of this,
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
especially
What's
of
the
times like
present?
this.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty much the opposite of being scary. I think it's
that's
if you know the
Because the
fundamentals.
investors-
But if you know the fundamentals in the market
Yeah.
and you know what you're doing and you're making educated decisions,
Yeah.
I think you're
It's
going to do
pretty-
phenomenally well.
Okay, amazing. All right. Okay, now tell me something. Dubai is concentrating on luxury, branded, all about that. So, what is the future of luxury in Dubai now?
I think Dubai is going to be defining what luxury real estate means
Okay.
in the
What?
next decade.
Oh, really?
People will look at Dubai and go like, wow, we need to have buildings like this, constructions like this, innovative real estate projects like we have in Dubai. Because you have to think about what is our competition. Recently there was a news article that came that Dubai now has the highest number of branded residences.
Yeah,
Previously was Miami.
Yeah.
So Miami was that city where everyone wanted to have, they have the Porsche designed building, and they had the Bentley Tower, and they have all of these sort of branded residences,
True.
the Ritz-Carlton residences, the Marriott, every brand existed there. But Dubai has now overtaken that very, very quickly.
Amazing.
It kind of brings that identity to Dubai when it comes to real estate. I mean, even if you walk around this mall in Dubai and you see the way people are dressed, they're very fashionable.
Yeah.
You come,
Yeah.
with a fashion background
Yeah.
yourself, so you could probably
Know
enjoy
about it,
that
yeah.
and see
More.
that people are very well dressed here.
Yeah,
People,
true.
it's on the streets you feel it.
Yeah, yeah,
The
so
brands
true.
are doing so well.
that is
Go to
true.
North America and see the way people dress, and look at the way
Yeah,
people
in
dress in Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
So that fashion, the
Has-
love for fashion, the love for brands has now come to real estate as well. When someone
Yeah.
buys a bag
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Hermes or Chanel, it is the representation of what
the
that
same
brand
thing,
stands for. So
yeah.
the same thing when somebody's buying a Bugatti residences,
Yeah.
they understand the brand value of Bugatti and what a
Absolutely.
building which is not branded means, and what a building which is backed by a strong brand means. If you're
Yeah.
walking into a branded residences, you're going to have cues from that brand visible in the project as well.
So true.
From things like the lobby to the things like the common
I
areas
agree.
of the
I
building.
agree, yeah.
When somebody's visiting your building, they feel that brand
Yeah.
when they walk into the lobby and the common area. So
They should feel the thing. Yeah.
and that's the reason why people pay 10 times more for a bag
Then-
that is branded as compared to a bag
Non-branded.
of a similar quality which is not branded. So
Yeah.
even when real estate, I feel the luxury segment, Europe is not, you have restrictions in Europe because pretty much most of the major cities have old construction that they can't just break and redo. I mean, they have so many restrictions. You can't even cut a tree, in many countries without getting an approval from the government. Or you can't change the color of a building because you have these heritage rules and regulations, which of course looks beautiful. But in Dubai, we promote and, we love the fact that there are new ideas that are being implemented. So the word luxury real estate is being redefined right now. 10 years ago, the level of luxury we had compared to the level of luxury we have today is at a different.
Absolutely.
We have the richest people from Europe, the richest people from Russia, the richest people from India, the richest people from China, the richest people from North America. We never had the richest people from all around the world coming to Dubai at the numbers that we are seeing today. The most number of millionaires are coming over here. They expect better houses than what they're used to in their countries. If you have the richest European, the richest British, the richest Germans, French, Italian, if they're coming over here, they expect a level of luxury that they were accustomed to back home. So now the new real estate projects that are coming up, they are incorporating that requirement into their buildings, into their projects. And that's the reason why I say Dubai is going to redefine what luxury real estate means.
Yeah, that's why they say 2031 we will have 140 branded residencies. Amazing. Okay, and one question, Farooq. What's your take on, in fact, I should say, on Al Marjan Island? Is it completely sold out, or do we still have people have still chance to invest there?
No, Al Marjan Island still has a few projects that are yet to be launched. There's still a few plots that are left which are not launched. Majority of the project or the island is sold. See, of course, this is going to become a destination for gaming. All right. And this island itself is going to be the Las Vegas sort of strip. Everything you have along the strip in Las Vegas is very desirable. And I think with the kind of new developers that are coming and the new kind of developments which are coming, you have brands like Nikki Beach, you have Nobu Residences, you have Marriott. I mean, you have every hospitality brand is there on Al Marjan Island, on this little island off the coast of Ras Al Khaimah. So I do think that it's going to become a globally renowned destination for gaming.
Amazing.
Especially in this region, which is the Middle East, you don't have anything like this that exists.
And it's happening in just 2 years, I think. 2027,
exactly.
right?
So we're very close to,
it.
the win is already, the structure is up and nearly complete.
True.
Plus we have, a third of the world's population living just a few hours away from Dubai.
Yeah.
If a wealthy individual from India wants to go out and go to a casino, where can he go? He has to go to either Far East, he has to go to Macau, where you'll have some language barriers and it's not the same culture. You don't even get you can't even get a nice meal.
True.
But you can come down to Dubai you can come down to Ras Al Khaimah, to the UAE, get everything that you require. You get all the facilities that you require. And it's going to be one of the biggest gaming destinations. So I think the future is very bright for Ras Al Khaimah, especially Al Marjan Island, because this specific island is going to be where we're going to be seeing all the action happening.
Absolutely.
And of course, that will always have a spillover effect, to other areas in the city as well. But I think Al Marjan Island is going to be where all that action is going to be concentrated in. And I think everyone will want to come down to Ras Al Khaimah, visit that place, and it's going to have a spillover effect to Dubai as well, because how can you come to the UAE and only go to Ras Al Khaimah? You will have to come down to Dubai. You're going to come 2 days, have fun at the wind, and then you'll have 3 days in Dubai and go around in Dubai.
It's going to help,
And then you're going to go one day maybe Abu Dhabi also.
Dubai knows what they're doing. They know that, what is happening. And since even the price per square feet right now, I think it's around 2,500 to, let's say, between 3,000. But they're saying that it's going to be 10,000 dirhams per square feet. Do you think it's going to be like that? Or
I don't believe. See, once again, nobody knows the future. If you ask me to bet my money whether it's going to reach 10,000, maybe I might not today. But I do believe that there's a lot of potential for investors today.
Yeah.
But what that number is, I would shy away from giving a number like 10,000 to Al Marjan Island. But then again,
But it's
Dubai,
safe.
UAE has reached numbers that we never expected to
Yeah, so
reach
true. But
in the past.
imagine if it's going to go to 10,000 dirhams. Wow.
If it goes, then,
like, oof. It's going to
all
be
the clients who sold Rasa Khema too will be coming back extremely happy.
yeah, it's going to be really crazy. Yeah, that's so correct. I know. So this is again like I think Dubai, even for that matter, Abu Dhabi is again it's booming. That is a different totally. It's a tourist destination. Disney World is coming there. So I think Dubai with the 7 Emirates has a plan, and that's what the vision is. The vision of the
100%. It's going to be the
It's
most
pretty-
desirable place to be
Yeah.
in. And like I said, it's not scary at all. It's just exciting. I would use the word, I'm
Actually,
excited
that
to
is
be
so
here, and I'm
true.
excited to see what the future holds for Dubai. If
Yeah.
you're sitting, watching this podcast, sitting in London,
Yeah.
you have a very, or people are painting a very gloomy future
Absolutely.
for big cities like London, like Paris. I mean, there's not much to look up to.
True.
In Dubai, when you're staying over here, I'm excited to see what
Yeah, what's
Rasa Khema will bring to the table. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see how Abu Dhabi is getting developed. I'm excited to see all the new developments coming up in Dubai.
Absolutely. No, that is
There's
so
things that are
correct.
being that are developed over here for entertainment. Literally every week we have a new restaurant which is opening up, which is
Yeah.
better than all the other ones that we've always had
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
There's new destinations opening up. So as a resident in Dubai, also we are excited to see what the future has to bring.
Absolutely. That's why the market is going up, and that's why the next 10 years for Dubai, I think, is just
It's going to be a golden period.
fantastic.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a golden
If
period.
the
People are going to
people
look back and
see.
say that, wow, I wish we had moved to Dubai 10 years ago
Yeah.
in this year.
Even invest for that
Invest
matter.
100%. Invest in this city.
Yeah.
Move to this city. We have the best of the best, and we are only moving in the right direction.
Yeah,
right now.
and moving forward, that is so true. That's really. I'm sure a lot of viewers have got their answers who's still thinking that whether to invest or not to invest, and what is the future of Dubai. So Farooq, I'm just going to do a quick rapid fire to you. I'll
Okay.
just ask quick questions, and let's see how you perform. Okay. Which neighborhood or property types you think is bullish in next 2 to 3 years?
I believe villas in prime communities
Okay.
by big developers
Okay.
are probably the best investment opportunities in Dubai.
Okay, amazing. Most underrated areas in Dubai to invest right now.
Rashid Yachts and Marina,
Okay.
Dubai Creek Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And these are 2 areas that I believe are going to boom
Mm-hmm.
for apartments. For villas, I believe Oasis,
Yeah.
Emaar Oasis, Grand Polo,
Polo.
and a lot of the major communities of villas that are coming along Alain Road.
Yeah.
I think these are going
the
to do very,
golden
very
belt,
well.
which we call it. Okay. What are the benefits and risk of buying off-plan properties in Dubai?
Risks that
And
you invest
benefits.
with a developer that delays construction
Correct.
or doesn't hand over properties up to the quality that they promise.
Okay.
Those are 2 risks. And of
Okay.
course, if they delay and quality, those are
Okay.
2 major risks.
Okay.
The benefits is that the upside that you can get on
Amazing.
investing off plan, you're
It's
getting
way more.
interest-free payments,
Yeah.
cash flow benefits.
Yeah.
You're not putting in all the money right now,
Yeah.
but you're getting all the upside.
True.
There are countries around the world where off plan is sometimes more expensive than what
Then-
you get in ready.
True.
In Dubai as well, some areas it is more expensive because they're
Yeah.
providing better quality and
Yeah.
better style of development. However, most off plan is lower than what a similar property would be available in the ready market.
True.
So there is a cost benefit you're getting.
There.
There is
yeah.
a payment benefit you're getting.
Yeah.
And you get all the upside over the next few years.
Amazing. All right. So, which countries are currently showing the most interest in investing in Dubai?
India is number 1.
Okay.
And India's always been number 1
Yeah.
for us, not just us as a company, but us as a Dubai real estate market.
Okay.
But what I'm very excited and what very happy to see that North America is now becoming
Really?
more and more active. And actually, it's a lot of your Indians and Pakistanis and
There.
Arab buyers in North America, which is Canada, US, who are buying in Dubai. And Europeans in the last 4 or 5 years, Germans, French, and of course, UK nationals have been the top
I think
3 European countries that are
yeah.
buying in Dubai.
buying in Dubai. And what about the China?
China is, of course, we've had times where the Chinese market was extremely bullish in Dubai. We had times where the Chinese market completely stopped buying, similar to what the Russian market. The Russian market did very, very well, especially after the Ukraine war. We saw a lot of Russian money pour into Dubai, and then we saw it to kind of stagnate.
Okay.
and slow
Okay.
down.
Okay.
But like I said, in Dubai, it really doesn't matter. One country closes, another country opens up.
Opens up.
You have
That's true.
someone or the other always investing into Dubai. Even
Yeah.
a lot of people said that once the Russian money stops in Dubai, you're going to see the markets collapse.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
We only saw more growth.
So true.
Russians stopped buying. The Chinese started buying. Indians started buying more. The North Americans started buying.
So true.
So there's someone or the other that's always
Always
buying.
buying. Yeah. So true.
We have, like you said, you have over 200 nationalities that live over here.
Yeah.
So we have people from all around the world.
That's why we just don't worry about it. That's true. Okay. One book that changed how you think about business.
A book called The Secret.
I love that.
Everyone should read that book.
I know.
A second book that I love, maybe I'll answer two books. I have a lot of books that I love listening to books. So my Audible is very active. I'm always active on listening to some book or the other. But the second book that I love is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Oh, really?
It's I think an 80-year-old book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a very, very old book, but it's all about relationships, and it's all about how you have that. You can improve your human-to-human interaction.
Amazing.
Which
I think
will transform your relationships at work.
very important.
It'll help your relationships with your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
It'll really help your relationship with anyone and everyone.
Amazing.
And I think understanding, because business is all about human-to-human interaction, right?
True.
It's your team, how to motivate them, your customers who are also people.
True.
So it's about how you can get a group of people to better understand and get along with each other. So How to Win Friends and Influence People is a must read for anyone. In business, I think it's a must read for everyone, not just for business people, but for everyone.
Okay, so guys, these two books. Yes. Okay. Coffee or karak for you?
Coffee.
Okay. Off plan or secondary?
Off plan.
Okay. Your favorite Dubai developer or the project right now?
Imar
Okay.
is my love.
Okay.
Favorite project is, I think, Grand Polo
Okay.
and Oasis. These two.
These two.
Right next to each other. But two of my villa communities, I've
Okay.
invested there as well myself.
Oh, really?
Multiple investments.
Yeah.
And I
You know
very
the future.
strongly believe
Yeah.
in these
I think
two
these
areas.
two are going to, like the Polo especially, oh my God, like the kind of land they have. I think it's double the size of Dubai Hills estate. Or
Yeah, I
something
mean, if
like
you put both Oasis and Polo together, because they're right next to each other,
Yeah,
so putting
it's
them
like
both together is bigger than Dubai.
bigger,
Hills.
yeah, bigger. Okay. Okay, 5 things an agent should have when they come to sales.
Confidence,
Mm-hmm.
very important, because you should be confident in your ability. You should be confident in your, in the market, which is very important. Second, you should have some social media presence.
For sure.
You should have an inclination to learn about the market. You should be open to learning,
Yeah.
not just thinking that you know it all, because if you're not open to learning, you're not really growing.
Yeah.
You need to have that growth mindset.
True.
You should have very, very specific targets in your mind that I need to achieve this.
Yeah.
Because you could be very confident, you could be very good at social media, you could be open to learning, but if you're not a good target setter, you're not a good go-getter.
Yeah.
You're not someone that, you put a target to yourself in 12 months, I need to do this. In 24 months, this is my plan. In 5 years, this is where
Your
I envision
goal-
myself.
yes.
Your goal, you have to be a very
Very clear, yeah.
goal-oriented person
Yeah.
in real estate. Because if you're not, you're just going to be
Waste your time.
floating by.
Floating by.
All right.
True.
And third, you have to be an expert networker, and you have to have very good people skills and high emotional intelligence,
Yeah,
which is
very
understanding how
important.
people think, because even when you're networking, you are prospecting, you need to develop these skills,
Yeah.
which is, by the way, not something which is very hard to develop. Sometimes, you'll have people who think they're natural salespeople because they're very good at talking to
Yeah.
people, but they actually have very horrible sales numbers.
Yeah, that's
And then you
true.
see some people who you think have a timid personality, but they're excellent in sales.
Yeah.
Because what they have is, what they lack somewhere, they do better in other places.
True.
They might not be someone who you would think is a natural salesperson, but they are better listeners, they're better connectors,
Yeah.
they are networking with the right people,
True.
and they are understanding, comprehending projects better,
More.
and are able to give more value to their
it,
clients.
yeah.
So these are the top 5 things that I think a
The
broker
agent should
or an
have.
agent should have in order to be successful.
Okay, amazing. 5 things investors should have before investing in Dubai.
They should have a good broker.
Okay.
Very important.
Very important.
They should develop with the right. They should invest in with the correct developer
Very
who has a good
important.
track history
Yeah.
of developments
Yeah.
in order to safeguard their future investments. They need to, of course, do very good market research, which hopefully the broker can assist with, because you could be investing in the right location, right developer, but if the
Very
property that you're buying is not the right price and you haven't negotiated well, then you are probably not getting a great deal. You know?
True,
So
true.
that is very important.
True.
Investors should make sure that if they're buying off plan, the project is registered, and if they're working with a developer, they need to make sure the payments are going into an escrow account,
Okay.
and everything needs to be properly verified. And of
Very
course,
important.
last thing I would just say: do your research, good
Before.
market knowledge,
Very
working with the right people.
Yeah.
They're all things that investors should see before they pull the trigger.
Amazing. Okay. Now, one last question which I want to ask. Actually, not last, one more after this. But I want to ask that do you think AI transforming Dubai?
I think AI is transforming the world.
Yeah.
So why should Dubai be anything different? I think Dubai is
Yeah.
the city that embraces change.
Yeah.
You know, we have an AI ministry now. I think we have an AI minister. So Dubai is at the forefront of accepting change, embracing change, and implementing this change as well. In
Yeah.
our business, AI is transforming the way we are
Completely. True.
managing clients, the way we are marketing.
True.
AI has come into marketing in every aspect of marketing.
So correct.
Our CRM system is powered by AI.
Yeah.
Everything, not just, I mean, of course, even ChatGPT
Yeah,
is,
for that
something
matter.
that I use more than I use Google now.
Yeah,
So everything is getting transformed by AI.
Yeah.
And I think Dubai is no different.
Amazing. That's so good. Okay, describe Dubai real estate future in one word.
Bright.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Farooq. I have many more things to ask, but some other time, but it was lovely. I'm
Thank you
sure
so
most of the viewers have got their answers who are still thinking whether to go for Dubai, to invest or not to invest, what are the areas you can go for, and many other things. So thank you, Farooq.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was a fun conversation. And we'll definitely do this again.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed watching today's episode. I will see you guys next time. Ta-da. Bye-bye.